Hari Om. We shall chant from verse number 31. Yajñashishtamritabhujah Yanti Brahma Sanatanam Nayam Lokostya Yajñasya Kutonyak Kuru Sattama Evam Bahuvidha Yajñaha Vitata Brahmano Mukhe Karmajan Vidhitan Sarvan Evam Nyatva Vimokshase Shreyan Dravyamayad Yajñat Jnana Yajñah Parantapa Sarvam Karma Akhilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninastattvadarshinaha. So Bhagavan teaches lot of different types of yajna, which are nothing but various sadhanas to purify our mind, make it free from raga dvesha, and also make it free of all the papa karma which we might have accumulated. So all these yajnas, if we follow, even if we follow one, that will be very helpful. These are only sample Bhagavan talks about, but lots are given in the Vedas. And all these yajnas are karmajan, born from karma. I, the Atma, is not the doer. No action happen in me. So as we perform this action, as the mind becomes pure, one comes to recognize oneself and becomes free. So all this yajna ultimately culminate in knowledge, knowledge of the self. All karma, all upasana ultimately culminates in knowledge. We can gain freedom from this samsara only through knowledge, not through action. Action, however subtle, action, however divine, will not make us free by itself, by themselves, but actions will help us to purify our mind, and then knowledge will make us free of this samsara. So, sarva karma khilam parthat jnane parisamapyate. So, atma jnana, we have to recognize ourselves as we are. At present, we know ourselves, but we don't know ourselves as we are. We have misunderstanding about ourselves. We have identified with our upadhis, the body, mind, intellect, senses. So what we know about ourselves is a wrong knowledge. So we should know ourselves as we are. For that, we have to approach a teacher. So tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Teacher who is jnaninaha and tattvadarshi, who has got the knowledge of the Vedas, not knowledge of anything else. knowledge of the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Prasthantrayi, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra. They are the main factors which help us to become free. So the teacher has got this knowledge, and the teacher also has got the vision of oneness which comes through this knowledge. So Jnaninaha and Tattvadarsinaha Upadekshanti te jnanam. That knowledge from that teacher we learn. We have to approach with full prostrations and do seva, get tuned to the teacher. Teacher should accept us, and we should accept the teacher. Sometimes we accept, but teacher doesn't accept. Sometimes teacher accepts, we don't accept. So both sides, there should be total acceptance. It's like if you want to call someone. If I call, the other person doesn't pick up, no communication happens. Or if I call, or if that person call, I don't pick up, then also no communication. So similarly, the teacher and the taught, proper communication, unless it happens, what we gather is only information, which we can gather through Google also, as they say. So we gather information, but knowledge happens only when we accept the teacher fully and ready to transform, ready to do the sadhana, ready to surrender our ego. Then we gain this knowledge. Now the question is, what knowledge? What is this knowledge? That is now being said in the next verse, 35. Yajñātvā na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandhava yena bhutanyasheshena Drakshyasyatmanyatho mayi Yajñātvā na punarmoham evam nyasyasi. Yajñātvā. The result of this knowledge, Bhagavan tells Arjuna first, कि हे अर्जुन, हे पांडव, कि यत् ज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम एवं यास्यसि पांडव. That having gained this knowledge, you will not get confused as you are now. Evam moham na yasyasi. See this, what you call, we have this avidya, ignorance about our own self, which is from beginningless time. And because of this ignorance, there is confusion. Not knowing and understanding something wrongly. As our Gurudev used to say, non-apprehension and misapprehension. So non-apprehension is avidya, ignorance. Misapprehension is confusion. So different types of confusions are there. What is confusion? We consider ourselves the body, we consider ourselves the mind, we consider ourselves as a Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra. We consider ourselves brother, sister, husband, wife. All these various types of notions which we have are all with respect to the body and all with respect to the inner that equipment. Not me. I have nothing to do with all this. They are only the outer forms. They are upadhis. They have nothing to do with me as I am. But since as I am is not known, all these things are there. And they are there from time immemorial, beginningless. Therefore, even when it is told, we don't comprehend it actually. We say, what is this? This is there in everyone. So because of that, Arjuna was confused. He was talking about life, he was talking about death, he was talking that all of them will die. Atma doesn't die. He was talking about death. He was talking about Pap and Punya. Atma, there is no Pap and Punya. He was talking about differences, myself and them. There is no differences, there is no Dvaita in that Atma, no duality of any kind. So all this is under the purview of Moha only. As far as Bhagavan himself is concerned, who is free of Moha, he looks at the whole world as his own self. Or as a realized person, when he looks at this world, he looks at everything as his own self. But when we don't have that knowledge, we get mohit, we get confused. And this confusion leads to different types of sorrow, pain, sadness, fear, depression, and all sorts of things. So, yat jnatva na punarmoham evam yashyasi pandava. If you gain this knowledge, you will become free of moha. That means you will become free of avidya. That means you will become free of this samsara. But what is this knowledge? This knowledge gives us a right vision, right understanding. And what will be the right understanding? He says, Ena, by this knowledge, bhutani asheshena drakshasi atmani. You will see all the beings. Asheshena bhutani. Bhutani means all beings. All beings in this cosmos, you will see them in your own self. He's giving the what will happen. What will be the vision? He says you will get this vision. When you gain this knowledge, knowledge will give us a vision. Knowledge will give us a drishti. So, with that vision, we will be able to see, not the physical eyes. With these eyes, even a realized person sees the same world. He will also see the mountain, the rivers, the bird, the animals in the same way as an ignorant person sees. But for an ignorant person, everything is different. I am different, the world is different. I see the world and I consider myself part of this world. I consider myself one of the infinite beings in this world. Many, many beings are there, and I am also one of them. Why? Because I look at myself from the body standpoint. So body is one of the many, many bodies in this world. But when we gain this knowledge, we will be able to understand that all beings exist in me. I doesn't mean ahankar. I is that pratyekatma, that inner self. Bhutani asheshena brahmadini stamba paryantani drakshasi sakshat atmani pratyekatmani. Shankaracharya ji says that right from Brahmaji. See, Brahmaji is a devata, but he is also one of the jiva only, but highest type of jiva. So right from Brahmaji to a blade of grass, you can say, all beings are really existing in my inner self. That one will see. Now this, for example, we can take the example of the ornaments. So there is this bangle and there is the necklace. Now the necklace and bangle are two different things. The form is different, the shape is different, the names are different, they are two different. So if a person mistake the bangle for necklace and necklace for bangle, we say, oh, he's little confused. Sometimes earrings, they look like bangles only, that is a different story. But they are earrings and they are bangles. They are different. So if one is mistaken for other, we say he doesn't understand properly. So this is bangle and the necklace is karya. Karya means effect. Effect of what? Effect of gold. So when I see the effect, then all these effects are different. You should not mistake one effect for the other. But when I look at it as gold, then all this is nothing but gold only. So there are these two visions which we can have with respect to these ornaments. One is called the gold vision and another is ornament vision. If we have ornament vision, we will see everything as different. But if we have gold vision, we will see all of them as one. Similarly, there is the cause and there is the effect. All these beings with all our upadhis, their effect. But what is the cause? That cause is that Brahma only. So, through this knowledge from the teacher, we gain the Brahma Drishti. We will be able to comprehend that Brahma as our own inner self. And once that is comprehended, then from the standpoint of the inner self, when one looks at this whole world, everything will be seen as existing in me. Bhagavan himself says, कि मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि. All these beings are existing in me. In the Upanishads also it is said, कि मय्येव सकलं जातं मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं मयि सर्वं लयं याति तद ब्रह्म अद्वयमस्मि अहम्. In Kaivalya Upanishad, that everything has come from me, everything exists in me, and everything merges back into me. So for that, I should have the vision of the Karana, not of the Karya. This Ahankar is also a Karya. So everything doesn't exist in Ahankar. Ahankar is also Karya only. But that Brahma, which is not different from our own inner self, is the Karana. So, yena bhutani asheshena drakshasi atmani. So, what does it mean? That a self-realized person also sees the world. World doesn't disappear. Many times, out of confusion, many people mistake the world to be just an illusion. Very popular actually. People think that Vedanta teaches us that world is illusion. World is not an illusion. It is there. If it was illusion, then Atmajnani person will not see the world. It should disappear. World is not like the snake on the rope. Because once you see the rope, the snake disappears. Snake doesn't remain there to say hello to you. Similarly, the world should also disappear, but world doesn't disappear. Because world is not false. World is Brahma. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So, for a self-realized person, the whole world is seen. He says Sarvam Asheshena Bhutani. He will see all the beings. But he will know all the beings exist in me. Ataha, also Bhagavan says, Ataha Mai. He says that he will also see all of them existing in me, in Ishvara. What does it mean? It means that the self-realized person will know his identity with Ishvara. Everything existing in me or everything existing in Ishvara is the same statement. From the standpoint of Upadhi, Ishvara is different and Jiva is different. Like the wave and the ocean. A wave is different, ocean is different. But from the standpoint of the Karana, from the standpoint of the essence, the nature, as water, wave is also water and ocean is also water. Similarly, Ishvara and Jiva, there is Aikyam, there is oneness. Kshetrajna Ishvara Ekatvam Sarvopanishad Prasiddham Drakshyasi. He says that the person will see the oneness of myself and Ishvara. So this is the knowledge. Knowledge doesn't mean we have to by heart some shlokas or mantras from the Upanishad. Knowledge doesn't mean that we have to know a lot or something. Knowledge gives us a vision. Knowledge is understanding, not information. Many people have a lot of information. Many people can repeat also. Sometimes we repeat very nice statements. And nowadays actually with all this internet and all, people, they repeat very beautiful statements also. If you get something immediately, you send it to somebody else. So these nice statements are there. Just by repeating good, beautiful statements, it is not called understanding. Understanding is something different. Understanding leads to direct experience. Avagati paryantam jnanam. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji says that jnanam leads to avagati. Avagati means experience. So, that all these beings are in me, it will not be just a theory, it will be the direct realization for a realized person. So, yena bhutani asheshena drakshyasi atmani ataha mai. So, you will be able to see. This is so wonderful, so amazing. It is so amazing that we don't feel amazed. It's like the light. See, light is required to see something. Without light, we are totally blind. But too much light also makes us blind. Blinding light, like we look at the sun and you can't see anything then. So this, what is said here is so amazing that we don't feel amazed many times. That is also a wonder. Here we have seen in the second chapter, Bhagavan says this knowledge is so wonderful. Ashcharyavat pashyati kashyidenam. People see it like a wonder. They know it as a wonder. Even after listening, sometimes we don't know. That is also a wonder. So this is the knowledge which one gains from the teacher. Teacher gives us this knowledge. It gives us a vision that everything exists in me. This is called Sarvatma Bhav. That all, I am the Atma of everyone. Now I am different, you are different. But in that knowledge, one comes to know, I am the self of everyone. So, yena bhutani asheshena drakshyasi atmani ataha mai. Further, Bhagavan gives the beauty of this knowledge, the mahima of this knowledge. He says, api chedasi papebhyaha सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः Bhagavan says that this glory of this knowledge is such that a person will become free of all his papa. See, when we have this sense of doership, different types of karmas are being done, and those karmas, some of them are papa, some of them are punya. The result of punya is swarga adi, and result of papa is naraka, result of papa is sorrow. But lots of papa and punya are there, enough to give us another infinite births. Yeah? Lots of that. They cannot be just wiped out, cleaned. So karmas themselves cannot clean our mind totally. So this papa, if it is there, how can I become free of this papa? Bhagavan says that through this knowledge you will become free of this papa. Because the sense of doership itself gets dissolved. So when there is no doer, then there is no papa, there is no punya. When I come to know that I, the Atma, is not a doer, then that sense of doership gets dissolved. And the papa and punya also will not touch, because there is nobody there to claim it. There is no one to claim papa also, no one to claim punya also. So Bhagavan says, api ched asi, even if you are the greatest of all sinners, papebhyaha sarvebhyaha papakrittamaha. If you are the greatest of all sinners, if you have committed all sorts of sins, in many, many lifetimes, lots of sins, if you have committed, then those sins will give so much of results that one will have to remain in Narak for a long time. Bhagavan says, even if you are like that, he says, sarvam. Sarvam means all this papa, vrijinam, all this papa, which is like an ocean of papa, ocean of sin. Bhagavan says, jnana plavenaiva santarishyasi. With the help of this boat of knowledge, you will cross over it. Aram se. You will cross over all this papa. See, if we have committed some papa, we have to do prayashchit karma. Even in this world, actually, even if one mistake we commit, sometimes we have to really suffer for it for such a long time. Mistake. Even one mistake can be very harmful for us. It can be in any field. Even while driving, you commit one mistake of sleeping for some time. Just a mistake. But it can be very dangerous. So, here we are talking about papa. If we have committed some crime, also it can be very, very harmful. One has to then, one gets punished. And if one has committed some sin, then so we have to experience the phala also. But, and one by one, if we try to get rid of all this sin, it will take, the cows will come home. It will take a lot of time. It is not possible. So our scriptures, they don't talk about, of course, through karma and all, we eliminate, we purify our mind. In this lifetime only, we purify our mind. Pure mind doesn't mean we have become free of all sins. Sins are there. ऊपर ऊपर थोड़ा साफ किया है हमने. Sins are there. अंदर बैठे हुए हैं. But we purify the mind by following the path of karma yoga. So what happens? The sins and all, they don't come up. The negative thoughts and all tendencies don't come up. So ऊपर ऊपर सब, जैसे कोई मेहमान आते तो ऊपर ऊपर सब साफ करके रखते हैं. जो साफ नहीं कर सकते उस पर हम कुछ बिछा देते हैं. फर्स्ट क्लास चद्दर बिछा देते हैं. Sometimes you can see the contours also below that chaddar. So it appears very clean and nice, but the अंदर सब गड़बड़ है. Similarly, even through karma yoga and upasana, if we clean our mind and don't get knowledge, again after some time mind becomes dirty. पूरे जीवन भर कर्म योग, मन शुद्ध हो गया, again die, again is born again with all sorts of impurities. So unless we gain knowledge, we will never get rid of our papa karma. It will remain. We are born again with all sorts of negative tendencies. We heard the story in our Puranas that Jai Vijay. Jai and Vijay were the sevaks of Bhagwan. To become sevaks of Bhagwan, you should have great punya. So they must have collected lot of punya and became sevak. But that doesn't mean their antakarana or their system is free of papa. They also had something. They also committed some sin. And both this Jai and Vijay, they became Rakshasas. They became Hiranyakashyap and Hiranyaksha. They became Ravan and Kumbhakarna. अंदर है दबा हुआ, वही फिर से बन जाते हैं. आपको पता है, we marry some person, I don't want to give example marriage. Let us say we have some friend, nice and sweet. After some time, he is not so nice and sweet. That doesn't mean he was always nice and not nice and not sweet is also there, hidden. Good and bad is hidden in everyone. It is said that Sumati Kumati Sabake Hiha Rahi. The Sumati as well as Kumati, good thoughts, good tendencies, bad tendencies are hidden in everyone. Every one of us, we are potentially, we can become very bad and we can become very good also. In the world also we find that little children are sometimes trained into negative things, terrorism, this, that and all. Same children can be trained to become good people also. Education can transform a person from good and bad. In Ramayana, Tulsidas ji says, he talks, education is like satsang only. Satsang and dutsang. Satsang and dutsang can transform a person. He says that even dhul, that dust which is there on the ground, when it comes in contact with air, it rises up. And when it comes in contact with water, it becomes keychad. So all of us potentially are good and bad. Just because now I am good, you don't feel very happy. Because in this life, some good samskars are, you have born with good samskars. जैसे सपना होता है ना, sometimes we get nice dream, we say, oh इतना अच्छा मुझे सपना आ गया. Sometimes we get horrible dreams. So we have potential for both horrible dream as well as nice dreams. When we are having horrible dreams, we will not remember our nice dreams, because that is a different story then. Similarly, in every lifetime, we have different forms and different types of samskars are fructified. So one need not feel very happy about whatever we have achieved in the external as well as internal world. It is not lasting, because the result of karma, they are attained through karma. The result of karma is temporary. Even if we attain Swargalok or Brahmalok, unless we gain knowledge, it is temporary. Again we will have to come back to Karol Bagh. So apichet asi papebhya. But if we gain knowledge, then the पाप करने वाला जो है वही नष्ट हो जाता है. The sinner himself get negated, dissolved. Through karma, we can eliminate some sins. But when through knowledge, that sinner itself get dissolved. the ahankar itself gets dissolved. So api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamaha. So even if you are the greatest of all sinners, hey Arjuna, sarvam jnanaplavena eva, all these sins, ocean of sins, vrijinam, ocean of sins, you can cross over with this knowledge. This knowledge, Atmajnana. Santarishyasi, santarisya very well, means you will not be coming back into this samsara. You can cross over this. So that is the beauty, that is the greatness of this knowledge. This knowledge is the ultimate. All our sadhanas are meant to finally gain this knowledge, whether it is karma, upasana, bhakti, this, that, yoga, all of them ultimately should culminate in this knowledge. So how this knowledge destroys all this papa? Bhagavan gives an example in the following verse. Yathe dhamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagnik sarvakarmani भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा यथेधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुते अर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि. यथा इंधांसि समिद्धः अग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुते अर्जुन. हे अर्जुन, like samid, samiddah agnihi, very well blazing fire. Just as a blazing fire burns all the fuel, all the wood, etc. If we put in fire, everything is burned to ashes by the fire. Nothing can remain there. So just as fire burns the wood, in the same way, this knowledge is also like Agni. It burns all karma. Burns all karma means not physically it burns. See this karma, how do we perform karma? Karma, as I said, is happening in Prakriti only. In this Prakriti itself, there is the identification is there. There is ignorance. And this ignorance has given rise to confusion and has given rise to many, many desires. So as one does this sadhana, what happens? That these desires get slowly eliminated, chitta becomes shuddha, and we gain knowledge. So this in this Prakriti itself, there is what is called ahankar. There is one is called samashti ahankar, and there is one veshti ahankar. Samashti ahankar is a total ahankar, in which the vasanas of all the beings are there. And to fulfill those vasanas only, the totality, Ishvara, he creates this world. So this Prakriti is like Ishvara Shakti. He creates this world with the help of his Prakriti. So Bhagavan says that Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. That in my presence this Prakriti creates this whole world. But it is not for himself, but for the sake of all the beings. So there are infinite beings are there from beginningless time, and they have infinite desires, and for the sake of those desires, this world is required and different situations are required, and Bhagavan keeps creating it. So this is like a cyclic. It goes on and on and on and on. Every time new set of jivas come, get evolved. But it goes on. It will go on till infinity. So there is this cosmic ahankar, which is like a propeller for all this creation to happen. Similarly, we have our own ahankar which propels our action. It propels our activity. Through knowledge, this ahankar gets dissolved. And when ahankar gets dissolved, all our karmas also lose their efficacy. They lose their power to give results. It's like, let us say, to give example of the modern times, we have this internet and all these social media things are there. Let us say Facebook. So you have your account, I have my account. Then you put a nice picture of yourself and everyone likes. So your picture is there. Then all your activities are there. Then your interactions with other Facebook users are there. So this is all cyber world. I am not directly interacting with you. Because of my presence, that image interacts with your image. I hope you are understanding. If not, then open an account. So, that is happening. So, all activities are happening in the cyber world. Not in me. It is happening there. But I am identified with it. I consider myself as that. Somebody says good thing, I feel happy. Somebody says bad thing, I feel sad. Now, suppose I delete my account. Then what happens? Nobody can contact me. My total existence is gone from there. But the social network site is still there. Other beings are there and they are still interacting with each other. Similarly, this ahankar is a artificially created like sort of personality. It's part of this prakriti, made up of thoughts. And it is there born out of ignorance. It is the result of ignorance. So when I gain knowledge, this ahankar mit jata hai. Where there is no ahankar, then the karmas, they really belongs to that ahankar. So the good as well as bad karmas, they lose their strength because usko own करने वाला कोई नहीं है वहाँ पर. So they get burnt, we say. It is just like a seed. When we roast it, it doesn't give rise to a tree. Similarly, the ahankar is the very seed of all our karmas. That itself gets roasted through knowledge. Thereafter, there is no karma phala. So, yatha indhansi samiddaha agnihi bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, just as the fully blazing fire burns all the fuel, in the same way, the fire of knowledge, sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute, it destroys all the karmas. I become totally free. So when a person dies, our karmas, if they are not destroyed, our identification, our contact, our association with our sukshma sharir doesn't go. So again we form another body. Then again we die, again go into another body. But when Atmajnani, his body get dropped, his sukshma sharir also get dissolved. So there is no more taking birth again. So jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Therefore Bhagavan says this knowledge is very important. You gain this knowledge. So he tells us the beauty and the glory of this knowledge. The next verse also. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha कालेनात्मनि विन्दति नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते. नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते. Therefore Bhagavan says that there are many purifiers. Like we have this, we take bath in Ganga, we become pure. We perform certain prayashchit karma, we become pure. But there is no greater purifier than knowledge, self-knowledge. Not worldly knowledge or some theoretical knowledge, but the self-knowledge. There is no greater purifier than this knowledge. And one who has not gained this knowledge will be filled with lot of this papa and lot of these impurities from infinite lifetimes. So nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram iha vidyate. In this world, there is no greater purifier than knowledge. Even as we go on this sadhana, as we understand, with every understanding we have, some lot of purification keeps happening. Even so-called our negativities like anger, jealousy, little misunderstanding creates all of them. So even with some right understanding, so many things get clarified. But self-knowledge, it removes the impurities from the very root. Ahankar hi vilin ho jata hai. So there is no greater purifier in this world than knowledge, self-knowledge, knowledge of who am I. अपने आप को जानो, know thyself. Now what we know is about ourselves, vaguely. I know I am, but who am I don't know. So everyone knows their own existence, but exactly who am I, what is my nature, is not known. So we have to know. And how we will gain this knowledge? It was already said, we have to approach a teacher. But before approaching the teacher, we should prepare ourselves. Otherwise, even if we approach the greatest teacher, we will remain as buddhu as we are. So we have to prepare ourselves. And that preparation happens through yoga. Yoga means not asana pranayam, but through karma yoga, etc. Upasana. So Bhagavan says, Tat swayam yoga samsiddhaha. When a person becomes yoga samsiddhaha, means through yoga, through karma yoga, when that person becomes extremely pure. The antakarana should become supremely pure. What is the sign of a pure antakarana? It becomes free of raga dvesha. One feels happy and peaceful without any rhyme or reason external. Unconditional peace and joy, that is another lakshana. But the main lakshana is we develop jidnyasa, thirst to know ourselves. See, thirst is different. जैसे थर्स्ट पानी की प्यास लगती है ना, हमको पता चल जाता है कि प्यास लगी हुई है. Similarly, this thirst to know is different. That person will not be able to sleep also at night because of this thirst. घोड़े बेच के सो रहे, चलो देखते हैं. Not like that. Thirst to know who am I, like a scientist, like a person who is totally possessed. Like sometimes we want to solve some puzzle or problem and all, so much people get so obsessed by that. In those few years ago, that Rubik's Cube and all had come, and half the population in the world got mad only trying to solve that. People become obsessed. Like that, one should be obsessed by the question that who am I? मैं कौन हूँ? Thirst to know my real nature. This we will develop only when we have this antakaran shuddhi. Then the jidnyasa will be there. So Bhagavan says, Tat swayam yoga samsiddha kalena. Kalena means after many lifetimes of following the good path of karma yoga, upasana, etc., the antakarana becomes shuddha. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Elsewhere Bhagavan says, in many lifetimes, the chitta becomes shuddha, and then one can gain that knowledge. So we should not get discouraged, but continue doing our sadhana. So tat swayam yoga samsiddha kalena. After passage of time, how long it will take, we don't know. Therefore Bhagavan just uses the word kalena. Mahata kalena. It's a long time. Atmani vindati, one gains this knowledge in one's own self, means one comes to realize one's own self. Okay. So it was already said that we can gain this knowledge by approaching a teacher, doing namaskar. But many times we go do namaskar, ask lot of questions, do some seva also, but kuch nahi hota hai. Is there any foolproof method of approaching a teacher so that we can gain this knowledge? Bhagavan says yes. Because sometimes one can do namaskar without actual feeling in the heart. So, Bhagavan gives a foolproof method of gaining this knowledge. He says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparah sanyatendriyah jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparah sanyatendriyah. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Previously Bhagavan has said, Tadviddhi pranipatena. You learn this from the teacher, do namaskar to the teacher and learn from the teacher. But it was not said that you will gain knowledge. Here Bhagavan says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. If you have Shraddha, you will definitely gain this knowledge. We approach a teacher, we do namaskar, we should do seva, we should ask question. But what is most important is we should have Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Shraddha is trust. Shraddha is a belief that what the teacher is saying and what the scripture is saying is true, is proper. It is Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishvasaha, it is said. Ki teacher, what he is saying and what the scriptures are saying is true. We should be able to accept that teacher with whom we are learning. Not some imaginary teacher. We should be able to accept one teacher from whom we are learning, and we should be able to accept the scriptures. Faith, because the things which are mentioned and things are so subtle that if faith is not there, we might not comprehend it. We might just reject it. Our ego and all will reject it. So So we should have faith in the teacher and in the scripture mainly. We should have faith in ourselves also, but here faith in the teacher and the scriptures. Shraddhavan. Shraddha actually is a very beautiful word. Shraddh means truth. Shraddhate. It is the quality of our antakarana. It is the quality of our buddhi, which help us to hold on to that truth, to the reality. It's that quality of the intellect which help us to comprehend the truth. It's called Shraddha. So Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Tulsidas ji in the Tulsi Ramayana, he calls this, he says Shraddha is a very good quality, but he calls it Daivi Sampatti. He says वो भगवान की कृपा से हमको मिल जाती है. Sometimes people don't have Shraddha, what can we do? Sometimes we don't have. Also it comes when we are brought up in a particular family. So our samskar at home, etc. plays a very important role. For example, Shraddha in Bhagavad Gita. If I am born in a Hindu family, in where my parents, they read Bhagavad Gita, where I hear about it, where I see it, the book at home, where I see that they are giving a lot of reverence to it, where I then in my childhood also I learn some shlokas, mantras. So slowly, steadily, I have more affinity for it, more apnapan. It's not something strange. Suppose tomorrow I bring some book, strange language and strange thing that you keep faith in this, you will start wondering, kya ho gaya? But Bhagavad Gita, we are raised in the very atmosphere of Bhagavad Gita. Being in India, all of us, most of us, if not all, are raised in the atmosphere of Bhagavad. कुछ नहीं तो सिनेमा में हमने देखा है वो ऐसे गीता पे हाथ रख के मैं कसम खाता हूँ वगैरह. Nowadays I don't know whether they do it, but always I used to see in my childhood cinema वो लेके ऐसा रखता था, but always it is covered and all, and then so you know that it must be something very special. I remember my father always used to carry Bhagavad Gita with him. Whenever he used to have time while going to office, coming back, this, that, he used to remove it and keep reading it. So it was like that faith we develop. It's like person, like some stranger comes at your home and then with that person you have to go travel, this, that, you will find, wo kaun hai, pata nahi. But if you know that person, if you recognize that person, if you have made friendship with that person, you will feel at ease. Similarly, when we have made friendship with our scriptures, how to make friendship? Chant them regularly, listen about them, read them, hear about them. So slowly we will develop that faith कि हाँ भगवद गीता में कहा है तो must be true. So that is faith in the scriptures. In scriptures, when I say, I talk about Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Vedas, and our Brahma Sutra, our Puranas, Itihas, faith in them. So Shraddhavan, if we have faith, then what happens? We are open and the knowledge can happen. We can understand. Without this faith, we take it in a different, so it becomes very difficult for the knowledge to happen if we don't have faith. We might do namaskar, we might do seva, but faith in the teacher and the scripture is a must. So Shraddhavan labate jnanam. But two more qualities are told. Faith to hai, but Bhagwan says, other than faith, what is required is tatparata, tatparaha. Tatpara is what you call readiness to learn. For that, you or with that faith you approach the teacher, and you are always ready to do whatever required to gain that knowledge. That tatparta should be there. I don't know, Hindi also we use that word tatpar. हमेशा तत्पर रहता है and all. Ever ready to do whatever required to gain that knowledge. To whatever time, whatever condition, whatever place, one should be totally alert and enthusiastic to gain that knowledge. Tatpar. Consider Tatpar may also consider that itself as supreme, not as a secondary, that secondary agenda. If that is secondary, then our whole life becomes secondary only. That agenda, it should be the first, 100%, not 99%. So, Tatparaha, Bhagavan says in his Bhashya, कि श्रद्धालु, if we are श्रद्धालुत्वे अपि भवति कश्चित् मंद प्रस्थानः. He says that even when we have श्रद्धा, we can be मंद प्रस्थान में बहुत ही slow. श्रद्धा तो है, but we don't, तत्परता नहीं है. We don't put forth effort to gain this knowledge. Then it doesn't happen. We should have that zeal, proactively. Sometimes eat the head of a teacher also and gain this knowledge. Tatparata. And sanyatendriya, tatparta hai, shraddha hai. Third thing which is required is sanyatendriya, control over our senses. Control over speech, control over our senses, our hands, our legs. Self-control. Because to do all this sadhana, whatever the teacher is telling, we should have that self-control, and also to comprehend what the teacher is saying, the senses should be. If the senses are running here and there, we will not be able to understand what the teacher is saying. So total attention, if we want to give, then there should be absolute control over the senses. There is a very beautiful story in Bhagavad, wherein the Dattatreya Avadhut, he talks about his 24 gurus, and he says one of his guru was a arrow maker. So one person was sitting there making arrow, and his whole attention was on making that arrow, that at that time the king's procession was going on with lot of people and king was moving, but he was so focused that he was totally unaware of everything else, absolutely focused on that. So later on, Dattatreya Maharaj asked him, did you see that procession? He said, no, my whole attention was here. So that type of focus is required to gain this knowledge. Not that just distraction, this, that and all, बीच में mobile बज रहा है, बीच में और कुछ बज रहा है, और ऐसे, that way it is not. One should be absolutely 100% attentive to gain. So, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha sanyatendriyaha. Apart from approaching a teacher who is knowledgeable and who has got the vision, apart from doing seva of that teacher, asking question, doing namaskar, what we require is we should have this Shraddha. Jnanam labdhva param shantim, then we will gain knowledge. There is no doubt about it. And Bhagavan says further, कि having gained this knowledge, param shantim, one will gain supreme bliss. Supreme peace, shanti, peace that passeth all understanding. Supreme peace. You will become free of this, all this noise of this mind, etc. See, sometimes some machine is working in your neighborhood, continuously making some sound. नहीं, कुछ सड़क पे कुछ काम चल रहा है. Some machines and all, they make such sound Not only sound, they vibrate the whole house also. So you feel as though the whole thing is shaking. So whole day that sound is there, let us say. And you are there stuck in your house. Somebody locked you inside and went. Then in the evening, suddenly they stop the sound. Switch off kar lete. You feel as though complete silence. Similarly, our mind is constantly making sound. Our antakarana, irritatingly, it is continuously. We don't even know what is the meaning of peace. But when we come to recognize our own self, we will experience supreme peace. Param Shantim, the Shanti of Moksha. Mokshakhyam Shantim Uparatim. Achirena means turant, instantly. When we gain this knowledge, we gain abidance in our own self. Turant, achirena adhigacchati. Instantly we experience that supreme peace. So therefore Bhagavan says, with this faith, you approach a teacher and learn from the teacher. With single pointed focus, you learn and become free. So here Bhagavan has given us the importance of Shraddha. And what is the opposite of Shraddha? Ashraddha. Or even Samshay, doubting. So Bhagavan in the following verse, he talks about the dangers of having this Samshay. He says, let us chant that verse. Ajñascha shraddhadhanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paraha na sukham samshayatmanaha Ajñascha shraddhadhanascha. He says, Bhagavan says, कि ajña means an ignorant person. A person is ignorant, doesn't know the self. Then ashraddhadhanaha, and doesn't have faith in the teacher or the scripture. Ignorant bhi hai and doesn't have faith also. See, many people actually in Kali Yuga, lot of people don't have faith. They are extra smart. And so कहीं आगे गाड़ी बढ़ती नहीं है. They might have lot of information, but there will not be any fix, and they will not be progressing in the spiritual path, because they will have knowledge of many things. For example, Bhagavad Gita, they will have knowledge about 10 different people, what they say about Bhagavad Gita. And all those 10 people are saying 10 different things. So when you have no faith in all those 10, but you have those 10 information, it will not help us in any way. हमारी गाड़ी एक कदम भी आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी. Like there are 2-3 roads and you have to take one road, and there are 10 people are saying you take this road, somebody saying take this road, somebody saying take. Confusion then. So here also a person is ignorant and ashraddhadhana, doesn't have faith in the teacher, doesn't have faith in the scriptures. What Gita, what Upanishad, doesn't have faith, find some faults in them. Try to bring up some various vague theories and all, and try finding faults with them. Try to find fault with the teacher. That is ashraddha. But the third thing is that samshaya. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji says ashraddha and ajnana itself is enough for the person's destruction, But this samshaya, he uses the term papistha, is a full of, it is most sinful, most worst samshaya. Samshaya means doubting. Doubting means what? See, one is that I don't trust. Another is totally, I don't believe. That is one thing. Another is doubting, in between. सब में संशय. कहीं कहीं घर में भी होता है. Some people get संशय about some people in the home. I think he is trying to kill me. So सब कुछ संशय से चाय को देखते हैं, संशय से यहाँ देखते हैं, संशय में पिलो के नीचे देखते, कुछ छिपा के तो नहीं रखा है. संशय आत्मा. Nowadays actually everywhere it is like that only. When you travel by flight and all, everyone is looked upon by samshaya only. And the more funny dress, different dress you wear, more samshaya से देखते हैं. अभी when I travel तो कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा samshaya atma type. Everywhere now it's very difficult. They want us to remove the shoes, they want to the hands up somewhere. So you don't know whether you are going to some other country or you're going to jail or you're doing somewhere. Samshay. You are a thief unless proved otherwise. So that is called samshay, that you are wrong unless proved. So they will ask question also with the thing that, okay, prove yourself right. I know that you are wrong. That is called samshay. I know that the teacher is telling lies. I know the scriptures are wrong. So you prove that it is right. That's called samshay. अश्रद्धा और संशय में थोड़ा भेद है. So अश्रद्धा is at one level, samshay is more negative. So Bhagavan says, Adnyasya, those who are ignorant, Ashraddhadhana, don't have faith in the teacher and the scripture, Samshayatma, and have the doubt about the teacher and scripture, Vinashyati, they get destroyed. Because wahi to marga hai. If one has got doubt about that path itself, then there is no guarantee, no chance of going further. So, na ayam lokaha asti, na paraha. For them, even this world is very difficult. Even, see, at every moment we have to have trust. Even simple living will become difficult if we don't have trust. We have to have trust in human being. We have to have trust in goodness. We have to trust in God. Without trust, we can't move one step further. We board a flight, we go into a train, we catch a taxi, we sit. We have trust that this fellow is proper. He is not a person who wants to commit suicide or something. He is there. So, similarly on this path, we should have trust. Otherwise, we can't gain knowledge. That doesn't mean it is just based on your trust only. Trust is required to start on this path. The fulfillment of what is said in the scripture is in experience. It is not just stopping at trust. The scripture says you are Brahma. So we have to trust and move ahead. But what is the culmination? Culmination is you will experience that you are Brahma. But in between जो stage है, उसमें trust की आवश्यकता है. It's like a no man's land. There you should have trust. And when you follow that path, you will experience. So, na ayam lokaha asti, na paraha, even the other world is not there. Na sukham, even sukha, happiness is not there. For whom? Samshayatmanaha, a doubting person. Or a doubting person. A samshayatma will not have all this. Therefore, with faith, approach a teacher, learn, and become free. More we will see tomorrow. We'll just sit for 1 minute. Close your eyes. with supreme faith, Shraddha in our teacher, and faith in the scriptures, faith in Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads. When we listen, when we study, when we contemplate, we will gain the knowledge. For sure. And with this knowledge, we will become free. One should not doubt the teacher. One should not doubt the knowledge. One should not doubt that this knowledge will make us free. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.